When did you start smoking weed?
Bro, I did not smoke weed till I graduated high school. How about that? Until I was 18 and just graduated, bro. So I like these townhouses, like I said, and it's like a community with a community center in there. So, sports were so big. Like I grew up playing sports, like not with the school per se. I did a middle school, but just with my friends. I was all about sports. I was the kid who thought he was going to go to the NBA, and so like the community center, you're playing wiffle ball every day after school. You're just playing sports, and they used to run this contest, the dare contest. You know, dare back in the day.
Yeah,
and
I remember, dude. They came to my school and did a huge assembly, and like, if I remember correctly, they had someone come on and they were like pretending to like be like a drug addict, and they were like, "This is what will happen to you." And it was some dude in like
and it's the
torn up clothes
like,
and shit.
far off
like...
obnoxious thing ever. So that's happening, and kind of lost my train of thought. What were you saying there?
We were talking about when you had first started smoking weed.
Yeah, so it starts. It was after 18, like So I graduated high school, and like I said, I've grown up in townhouses. So big into sports, and they ran the DARE program there. So like they used to, and I was big into like drawing back then, even though I can't draw a straight line now. Mm-hmm. So they used to do these contests where you would draw like anti-drug stuff, like and like everybody in the community would draw it. Like, and I remember a couple of times like I placed, but I had my next door neighbor draw it. He was a really good artist. Like you know, but I would come up with the slogan. I was always good at that marketing.
You still played a part.
Yeah, I was always good at a punchline. I always took marketing. I always drawn to it, which pays off now. But yeah, so like again, that's how I grew up in that area. Like I didn't smoke weed during high school. I was playing sports every single day.
Yeah.
Like until the sun went down, until school ended, till the sun went down. So that again, I just wasn't around it. None of my friends smoked weed either during the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected.
Yeah, no. I went off the deep rails quick, But yeah, I smoked after I was 18, like literally 18 out of high school.
Do you think maybe the fact that you waited so long to try smoking maybe played a part in your longer term addiction?
I don't know. I think what's meant to be is meant to be. Like
True.
You know what I mean? I think if what was going to happen was going to happen. So no, I don't think like that part does it. No.
I say that because I have a lot of friends who, those I know who got it out almost in their younger years, like got out of their system when they were in high school, are super normal, straight edge dudes now who are like having kids and shit. Yeah. And then my friends who started doing it after high school are like still going hard and fucking face down every day, unconscious.
Yeah, no, that's crazy for sure.
So, after you had started smoking weed, do you remember your first time? Like, what was the story behind that?
I was with all my friends. We were at my friend Ronnie's grandmother's apartment, rest his soul.
Yeah.
He was my best friend back then. And so we would just smoke. Back then, it's like, it's Reggie. Like, it's Mexican brickweed, legitimately. Yeah.
You don't know the strain.
No, it's literally the brickweed with a million seeds in it. So, like, in Boston, Foxwoods casinos, 2-hour drive. This is before they had the Encore. So, like, they would have the buses that would pick you up in East Boston down Central Square every day, right? So his grandmother was one of them slots players. So she would get on the bus and go in the morning, come home late at night. So, like, it was like fucking 7 of us, dude. We were in the bathroom at his grandmother's house rolling, like, joints of the smoke, And we were smoking in the bathroom, whatever. And then, I don't think, maybe... I feel like it's common, but like I didn't think I was high the first time. Maybe you don't know.
I don't think I got high the first time.
Yeah, it's like maybe you don't know what it is, so you don't realize what's happening. Like I don't know the effects, so maybe I don't realize I'm high type of vibe.
I feel like that might be what it is.
Yeah, looking back on it now, but like I didn't think I was high. You know what I mean? And then, however long passes, I end up passing out on the couch, like and I passed out on the couch or the bed, I don't remember, but I know my homies took $20 out of my back pocket and they went to the store 24 right across the street. That used to be in East Boston. It's still there. I don't know what it's called now. And they went and bought Mad Munchies and shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Did they share any with you?
Yeah, hell yeah. I woke up to that.
There you
go.
Yeah.
No, they were good friends for sure.
I thought they stole your 20 and just ate all the munchies. I was like,
they brought
it
back.
Up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So after that, how quickly did you start smoking regularly?
Oh, right away.
You just knew off rip, like
it was like that's what we were doing, like back then, like so now when you go to high school, you meet new friends. So now, like I had my old friends that I grew up with, and then I have a new circle of friends too. Like, and the new circle was smoking stuff, so that I got into it with them.
It's hard to stay cool with the friends who don't smoke when you start smoking. When I was younger, I had a hard time with that.
Yeah, and then I learned that like real fucking quick. that my friends smoke a lot of weed. Like, I'm going to be the dude to give it to them real quick. I learned that.
Mm-hmm. So after you started smoking, you start smoking regularly every day. Were you selling weed too, or how were you getting it when you were younger?
No, that's what I'm saying. So back then we were buying it, but I learned real quick or saw real quick that my friends are smoking a lot of weed, and like I want to be the guy to sell my friends weed. And
So you knew early on that
yeah, I was always
you were
a
interested in
business
that.
person. So like in high school, they had classes you had to take. Like one would be like fucking nursing things, like medical shit. One was like fucking teacher bullshit, and the other one was business. And you know, I'm like, all right, bro, give me the
picking
business
business,
class. And we had marketing classes, like these. You know, obviously the quarters now that we all see that have the states on them. Back then, they didn't exist. You know, remember, I graduated in 2000, so we're talking 98, 99, 2000, whatever. You could find out when they came out. I don't remember, but there was a marketing thing that was, how would you market these new quarters to the people? And me and my partner came in the top 10 in the country.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we got flown to D.C. We got the fucking all 50 quarters in a case or whatever, and we placed like, I don't know, third or something out of it. But the marketing was always there, and they would have, they would have like fucking in the business class. They would you could make a product and sell it. So what do you want to call it, a fair or pop up, whatever in high school? Mm-hmm. And my mom's would make these fucking ties. Like she had these ties and she would stitch Witrium, which is like, isn't really sewn, but it's like you iron it on. But I thought they were really cool. I'm like, make a bunch of ties, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to sell them at the fair. And when I tell you, the fair was at like a hotel in Boston. It was a business fair. And all the fucking people who worked there, like, were walking through with the suits. I sold so many fucking ties that day. So many fucking ties.
It was the
that day.
perfect environment.
It was the perfect environment. Like, so many fucking ties. And I don't know, I was always good at it. I always had the eyesight for marketing and business.
That's something that I think if you're gonna, no matter what you sell, I mean, weed included, like you got to have that kind of in you. You know?
You do. You absolutely. You have to know. There's a lot of layers to it. You have to know what the consumer wants. You have to know how to get it to the consumer. You have to know how to put it in production and make it a reality and not just an idea. There's so many layers to it, and more above all, you have to be consistent. Anybody can do it once. Some people can do it twice, but can you do it over and over and over and over again? That's what separates everybody.
Were you ever the kind of dude when you were younger that would like fuck up the re-up because you smoked too much?
No.
Really?
Well, put it this way, not the weed re-up, the fucking other re-up. When I started doing drugs, yeah. When I started getting high, yeah, for sure.
Where'd the name B Eazy come from?
It's a saying in Boston. So like when everybody, it's a departing saying. Like when you, instead of saying "see you later, goodbye," but you'll be easy, be easy, be easy. So eventually, I just made it Be Eazy Buds, and then as we got bigger and more legal, I dropped the buds.
Just ran Be Eazy?
Be Eazy, yeah.
I think that's cleaner.
I do
like
too.
that.
I like it way better.
It gives you more flexibility because then you could do stuff like rosin too.
You could wear this and you don't even know what it is. It's
That's
not,
yeah.
It don't you
subtle.
See, but if it says buds, you know it's a cannabis.
Then it's
brand.
over with.
Yeah, way more versatility. It's just Be Eazy.
I think that's a mistake a lot of brands make nowadays. They like overly market the weed part.
Yeah,
And
Instead
the
of the
weed's not as
branding.
cool anymore because it's legal now.
Yeah.
Everyone smokes it. Like my grandma's taking edibles. You know?
And it's also the difference. But it's also the difference between a real brand and just someone doing it to pay the bills.
100%.
We're definitely a real brand, and we brand everything appropriately and try to market it appropriately.
So what are some of the things that you did to get the ball rolling when you started your brand?
What did I do to get the ball rolling? You know what? I think that I listened to people.
Okay.
And I had my finger, whatever you want to say, is always on the pulse. But I listened. I always listened to the consumers and vendors. So being from Boston, the Northeast, mainly New York, is the biggest target. I mean, the biggest market demographic, right?
When you started your brand, were you still in Boston?
Yeah, we were big in Boston. We were huge in Boston. That was the base of it. I came out to here. We didn't know anybody except for Doja. And we were working with them. Like, we were working with them
Shout
in Boston.
out Doja.
And it came over here working with them. But, like, back then, Be Eazy was big in Boston. We were working on it. And then we come out here. But I always related my biggest advantage forever, and it's not as big anymore, but it helped what separate the difference right now between us and other brands, and no disrespect, is that we came over here and already knowing the end customer and everything about them, because I was one. I told you, I just waited fucking 2 hours for Canatique instead of getting a kidney. Like, I was that person.
You know what you're
Boston,
looking for.
New York, we don't like each other sports-wise, but we are the same people. Like, you know, we're loud, same exact Northeast raising. And no disrespect to any brands out here prior, they weren't connecting with them or couldn't. They were connecting with them on just a broad level. They were the brands available. Whereas when I came in with the personality, talking the way I talk and being brash and I'll call anybody out, I related to them on a whole nother level. From ideas to coloring to the way I carried myself.
Yep.
And it brought us really quick. We're not a COVID product, like, you feel me? Like, we came after COVID, you know, no, I guess that's not true. We came in, well, I moved out here a few months after COVID. B Eazy really got popping in, like, August of that year, so July, so maybe it is toward the end of COVID, you know?
Okay.
But like, we were out here, bro, but we weren't a California brand then. Like, we were just here sending everything back to Boston, but just hard work, quality, and listening to the consumer. I remember the first person that came out here to buy a B Eazy product was Baltimore. And it was the Terps and Caicos strain that we still drop. Bright, colorful bag that everybody fucking loved. And the pack was 1010. He met us. He met me. He bought it, vacuum sealed, never even saw the flower. He just knew it was good. And he went home. He added me. It was the first time I ever see my Instagram just go with a bunch of follows.
Yeah.
I felt like half of fucking the DMV area was following me. It was crazy.
Just that first big break, bro.
Yeah.
You're cooking.
It was crazy. And then he didn't come back. And I'm like, bro, what happened? Because he told me, bro, everybody loves it. It's so fire. They loved it. So I'm like, bro, what happened? I got more of it ready. And this was like a couple weeks later. He's like, you have anything? He's like, bro, that was super fire, but you have anything else? Like, anything new? They don't want the same shit. And I'm new. I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, bro, that's really good, but they just want new bags every time. And I said, oh, they want new bags? And all right, cool, I'm going to listen to you. And then that's when it started. I just started bag. And just giving everybody what they want.
So even early on, you kind of had the packaging standing out.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a believer in, I'm a real big believer in, like, don't fight the wave, ride it. And
yeah.
Like, everybody knows I don't really smoke candy. I smoke zebras. I smoke all this other stuff. But I sell candy without a doubt. Mm-hmm. And why? Because that's what the mass market wants. And this is just a business at the end of the day.
Is candy what you started off selling too?
Nope. I was anti-candy. I used to talk so much shit about candy on my Snapchat in Boston.
I don't like smoking candy either.
I'm not a fan of it. It gets me too high. But but if this is what the people want and this is going to make the brand the most successful, this is what we're going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not here to fight people. I'm here to give them what they want. But I'm also going to give you the best version of it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's what I'm here to do.
So one of the things that I think is interesting that a lot of people don't know about the industry in general is your brand, you source. You don't actually grow.
Right. Me personally, correct.
Yeah. So you guys go and you find, like, whatever the best stuff that you want is.
So right now we work exclusively with our grower Elusive.
Okay.
But I don't grow. But this is new. This is a new thing, you know, in the last
it's not how it always...
In the last, say 2025. Like, you understand what I'm saying? We still source a lot of packs for other drops, you know, but like the zebras and a lot of other stuff come from him and only him. Like, we have seeds popping, genetics, and all stuff in-house with him. So we at this point, I would say 95% exclusive with him.
Pretty close to single source.
Yeah. But prior, and still now randomly, you know, we would source packs. Prior, everything was sourced, without a doubt. Yeah, we white label everything up until, like I said, say 2025, start and deal with Elusive more.
I think a lot of people don't understand how common that is.
Yeah, and I never understood the offense to it, in the sense that, like, somebody grew the weed, bro. Like, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like, everybody is so dumb. I don't know. I think that's just the easiest way to say it. Like, everybody's just dumb. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And it's like, bro, somebody grew the weed. Did you ever think that grower only wants to grow? He doesn't want to brand. He does not want to distribute. He only wants to grow. And maybe that's why their weed is so good, because they're not trying to do 5 things at once. And, like, you know, I'm a believer in specialists. You find the best grower.
Yeah.
I found Elusive. We are, in my opinion, the best at branding and marketing. So we already have that. So you come together. And same thing with getting the best genetics and seeds from people. And eventually 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of growers that aren't good at selling the weed. They're not good
They're
at
not
marketing.
even that good at growing the weed, most of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's true. There's a lot of mid out there.
Yeah. So it's like I just, if there are growers that can do it all, and God bless them, but just like everybody else, they're far and few in between. That's why they're the elite of the elite. But what is that? Like fucking 0.1% of the population? What do we do with the rest of the 99.1% of flower? Like, do you want these facilities to close?
Someone's got to smoke it.
Yeah, do you want these facilities to close? These facilities were built for people to source their packs for, and to put them on the rec market or whatever with it.
Yep.
That's literally why they exist.
So early on, what were some of the big drops that you did that you would say really put you on the map?
Terps and Caicos was our first drop.
You mentioned that one.
That was the first drop that we did literally in California. And everything was, I wouldn't, even with hindsight being 2020, I would not change one single thing about that drop.
That was just perfect.
It was the best flower at the time that you could get. The packaging, the bag, that was when it was just a sticker Mylar bag. It was the best packaging by far at the time. And to me, like I said, even however many, I would not change a single thing about that drop.
It's the perfect drop.
Yeah, and then duck sauce was a big drop.
Nice.
That one, and then obviously the cap and runch with the boxes. The boxes changed every single thing.
I saw that on Twitter.
But
a lot.
We had multiple, but I would like to think the biggest waves in the last 4 or 5 years, but we've been part of at least most of them. We played a major role in them.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that I've seen, you guys post when I kind of looked into your brand when I was getting ready for this episode and stuff, I've definitely seen knocked off by other brands pretty regularly.
You definitely have. No, you definitely have. so many people have copied us, and imitation is what is that bullshit thing?
Imitation's flattery.
Trash
It's a serious form of flattery or something
bullshit.
like that. Yeah.
It's what it really is.
So you don't take it that way.
Look, I don't care anymore, okay? Now I don't care anymore because of what you just said. You just said, as I was just starting to look into your brand, and that's one of the first things you noticed. So, there was a time when maybe I had more of an ego and I wasn't confident enough that it really bothered me. But now it's just like what you said. Everybody sees it and knows it. How many DMs I get, bro? Somebody will send me, oh, they're copying you. I just like it, I don't, it happens, bro, so much. My brand, myself, is used for clout all the time. More, if not more than any brand, as much as any brand there is, whether it's Twitter, beef, Instagram, beef, people saying we buy packs off these brokers when I don't even know who they are.
Yep.
People like to use the brand, and I get it, but so, stuff comes with that too.
It's kind of impossible to protect your IP in this industry too.
No, right, it is. I mean, right, it is because everything is trademarked on our end, but
yeah,
but again, it's
but also you guys are doing products that are not all of them, but often that are parodies of existing stuff.
No, 100%, exactly.
That you can't protect.
No,
too,
right, exactly. That you can't protect. We are trying to move away with that with more original stuff, but right, that stuff you can't. But that's the whole game is that right now. I personally would like to see change. I'm cool with all the boxes and bags. I would like to see more original characters, more original creativity, get away from all the IP copying and bullshit, which I'm obviously one of the biggest influences of. I get
For sure.
it. But I think it's time to progress forward. Everything's got to progress.
So you're trying to set the new tone now.
I'm trying to do some cool shit.
And you think that's where the market's headed in general?
I don't know. I think that's where we're heading, though, for sure.
Okay.
I think people, put it this way, when we do it, they usually follow suit. So I think whatever we start doing soon, people will really follow suit quick. That's usually how it goes.
And you guys, I mean, to this day, are still doing a ton of candy. That's
yeah. We have a big drop that's candy, and then we have all this other stuff that's non-candy too.
Yep.
We're definitely providing much wider range of strains now than as up to the end of 2024. 25 has been a lot different.
What do you think's going to be the next candy? What's the next era coming up?
So I don't know the answer to that. Candy right now is still mainstream, so it's not going anywhere. in the sense that all these facilities, it's all they grow. So that's their money making. Until that stops being their money maker, you know how that's just business, right?
Everyone likes to talk shit about lemon cherry gelato, but it sells more than any other fucking
Right,
strain
it
on
makes
earth,
everybody
dude.
money.
Yeah.
It's just the easiest sell. Everything else you have to wait to sell. That's the only thing that's selling right away. So until that happens, nothing else. But there are moments in between where individual strains, can get fire, like zebras, like I'll give them plugs, like toad venom, like blue sushi,
Yep.
that almost bigger than the brand itself. Like, there are a lot of people that know zebras, maybe don't know bees. There's a lot of people
For
that
sure.
know blue sushi, but maybe don't know his Tenkos,
Everyone knows blue sushi.
Right.
I don't think probably 8 out of 10 smokers don't know who Tenko is.
Right,
But they
you
know blue
understand?
sushi.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like there are moments in between, like a wave that a certain individual strain that can just catch fire and outshine all of that too.
Yep.
Which we're trying to do with zebras.
So what's cracking with the zebras? I mean, I smoked some of that before the show. What do we got?
I mean, I just think it's the best. I don't make no secrets about it. Zebras is a straight Skittles cut. It's fire. I think it's the best one out there. It's all I smoke. I mean, I only smoke Skittles anyway. Like, there was times where you could ask me what's in my blunt for a long time, and the answer was blue sushi, nothing else. Like, I pretty much only smoke Skittles 95% of the time. And today, at this current day and time, it's better than everything else out there, in my opinion. But again,
Why is that, you say? Like, what's so special about the Skittles?
the terps, just a fucking taste on it, bro. The taste is so good, and it gets better and better and better and better every time. Like, this batch in the jar is 3 weeks after dry, and like, bro, it's fucking better than it was last week, and next week it'll be better than it was today.
Yeah.
And like, the last 25% of the fucking blunt is so good. I don't know. It's just, again, like I always say this: whatever I'm looking for from weed taste, that gives me. Skittles gives me, and it's always done it. From the first time I smoked it, it's always satisfied me. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I just love it.
It's kind of interesting because I feel like in this type of setting, like everyone loves Skittles. Like probably everyone in this room right now loves smoking Z and any form of Z. But I don't think your average smoker knows shit about it.
No, so the average smoker, unfortunately, it's very hard to, I don't even know how to say it correctly. So the thing about Skittles is, right, the majority of it sucks. And that's the sad
For
way of
sure.
it. So the average consumer, unfortunately, has most likely only experienced bad Skittles. Like, you can get whatever, but we'll just say, you can get $1,000 lemon cherry that will have flavor and at least smoke white. Like, it's not going to be good. It's not brandable. It's probably PG'd out, but it will smoke. Like, like
You'll get that resin ring.
You can't do that with Skittles. Like, bro, there is a certain point of Skittles where like the price matters. And like, the more you buy it for, just the better it is. At least from all the time I've ever been around them. And so I think most brands, it's a business. So you go into the rec store, there has to be a bottom line profit, right? And maybe putting the best version of it into it isn't the best, their goal. Whereas this is small batch, as you know, like a small batch community is 1% or less, and
For sure.
that small portion is willing to pay the high price for the best stuff. But the average consumer is not getting good Z, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Z is a tough one because it's usually ugly as fuck.
Ugly, right.
So it has to be super on point and smoke great because the average consumer is going to look at it versus a bag of lemon cherry and be like,
They're not even
why
picking
would
it
I
up.
pick that shit?
They're not even going to pick
Looks
it up.
like mid,
100%.
But I feel like some of the best smoking shit nowadays doesn't look good.
I'm team green. Like, I like green weed.
Me too.
I smoke
Me
purple
too.
weed, of course. But like, if you, like you said, like, I'm the opposite of that. If you put them down, I'm gonna go to the green one because maybe it's because I'm older and like back in the day, everything fire was fucking green. So maybe that's just how I grew up. I don't know. I never thought of it. But I've always been attracted to green weed. I think a lot of purple weed right now is fake purple. It's like stressed out.
100%.
They turn it cold and they stress it. There's obviously weed that's supposed to be purple. When you get that, that's great. But a lot of the stuff is just very stressed out. That's why you see the white pods in it. And, so for that, I've always been kind of turned off by it in recent years.
And like the average smoker doesn't understand that at all. They just see purple shit and they're like, "This is fire."
Right. It's just like the packaging. It's the same theory as the packaging. It's why we created the boxes. The boxes created to be at a pop-up table with 6 options. What are you going to grab first?
Yep.
And it's the same thing with that. You're going to grab the purple weed. Then you put 100 people in line. Maybe 5 people buy the green, but that's why it's in that percentage. And the other 95 and 98% are going with the, following the trend.
Yeah, they're smoking what everyone else is smoking.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
And that's why the higher price point.
Kind of on the flip side of when I'd asked about your best drops, do you have any drops you did that you'd say you fucked up or were a fumble?
Yeah, of course. I mean, not per se like quality of flower wise, like maybe the drop.
Even if so, it's all right. I mean, everyone fucks up,
No, I mean, look, there's obviously stuff to the better, but I know that put it this way, one thing I always say is you could say whatever you want about my weed as long as you paid for it. I get DM'd all the time, your shit sucks. But did you smoke it? No. But if I say, did you smoke it? Yeah, bro, this batch sucked. No problem, brother. I appreciate the feedback. You're a consumer.
That's valid.
The people talking shit who never smoke it is what annoys me. But I know at the end of the day, every pack is QC'd and it passed our QC. So I can't say that I ever regret putting a flower in it because it passed my QC personally.
Yep.
Whether the people don't like it or not, again, it's all opinion based. But there has been drops packaging wise that has been a disaster. They're just way too fucking big. There's just way too many moving fucking pieces. I didn't even bring one, but this Operation game that we just dropped.
I saw you post that.
It's an amazing drop, but logistically, it's a fucking nightmare.
I can't imagine. I mean,
it's a nightmare.
I didn't even think about it till now. I bet the tariffs are probably fucking you up, huh?
Yeah, the Operation drop. We still have one stuck at the ports. We had to reprint it and order it express air because the boats, we never got it. That's why they dropped up. But we literally have a whole drop worth of it at the ports, 100%.
They're probably sitting there playing Operation with your shit right now, dude.
They're playing over there. But no, you're right on the money though with that. That shit's real, 100%. I think every person in this industry would agree.
Oh, it's hitting everybody, dude. Yeah. It's hitting me. It's hitting all my friends that I have. Yeah, it's hitting
100% real.
It's bad.
Yeah,
dude.
It is.
It's fucked up.
It slowed everything down. Even if there's some stuff you just can't put into production anymore because the tariffs are so high. But even
100%.
if you do put it into production, it just slows down the delivery and the production time drastically. Mm-hmm. It's tough right now.
So, kind of moving forward with your brand and in the future, how do you think you're going to continue to innovate with all the tariffs and all the issues and kind of changing market? What's your ball plan?
So without revealing too much.
Okay.
I
keep it low key.
Right. I am, like you said at the very beginning, I am a character in this industry. Right. People have an opinion, feelings about me, good, bad, indifferent. I get memed all the time. I think it's the fucking funniest thing in the world, by the way. I laugh at myself all the time. So that being said, expect a lot of that type of stuff from me where maybe, I had a full body scan done recently. So, maybe some action figure stuff, some real collectibles. You'll see a lot of making fun of me as a figure, but maybe you'll see a real action figure collectible type of stuff because, I am a character who draws attention. And if you want to make fun of the vein in my head, so I have this is a true story, but people have seen this, that's why I'll say it. I have a silicone of my head coming out, and you're going to be able to twist the top open, and the inside of it's a jar, and it's going to be my fucking head, and the big vein spells B Eazy. And cause bro, I laugh too. It's funny to me.
That's heat.
Yeah. And so I'll make it, and they want to draw on it. I don't care. It's cool. I laugh at myself more than them when they make the meme. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go the whole Eminem 8 Mile thing. When he got on stage, the finale, and said everything about him that they were gonna say about him, and they couldn't say anything. Just make fun of myself. I think you're gonna see a lot of cool stuff like that.
I mean, when you embrace it, I think people can't really make fun of you.
Bro, people are fucking funny.
Yeah,
people
for
are really funny.
People are on your ass in particular on Twitter too.
Yeah, bro.
Why is that, do you think?
Shots never come from above. Shots always come from below, and all that bullshit, bro. There's multiple reasons. I'll give you a few reasons right now. Number one, I respond, and a lot of people.
You do.
A lot of people. I'm not trying to big myself up, but a lot of people of my whatever you want to say, size, platform in the industry, position in the industry would not respond. That's not what I'm here for.
No, that's facts though.
Yeah.
Like,
And like
you're responding to. I see you respond to random people pretty often,
bro. But even in the good side, like I answer every DM. Like 99% of DM. Like now I'm a little bit busier than I was, but there was a time like up until maybe like 6 months, I answered every fucking, even if I was just liking it. Like, you know, I always say, yo, DM me. Now it's like I see every DM. I may not answer every DM, but I literally see them at least. But yeah, bro, I'm interacting. Like, I don't believe interaction is bad. First of all, good, bad, or whatever, right? We all know this. There's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
100%.
I am very aware of things. There is a news cycle. You know a news cycle, right? What is it? 24 hours, 48 hours. No matter how bad it is, it will end within 48 hours, right?
Especially on the internet, dude. Everyone forgets.
No matter how good it is, in theory, in reverse, it will always what? End in about 48 hours, right? Unless you keep it going, but you have to do that. On its own, everything is short here. Nothing's going to last forever as far as the good, the bad. I'm talking reaction-wise on social media. I don't give a fuck what these people say to me because, like, when I go to New York City, for example, this past weekend, you know, we had an event in 418, 419 in New York.
Yep.
The lines are down the block, and anybody who was there will tell you I shook every person's hand. First thing I do when I get into this event, I walk the entire line, no matter how long the line is, and I shake every person's hand in line, and I say thank you to every single person.
Yep.
When they come back up to get their product, again, I shake their hand again and say thank you. And that's the difference. Like online, people see something and run with it, and you know how it goes. It's all that pile up bullshit. I had a kid today reposted the picture of the commercial I was shooting yesterday with all the packaging saying, imagine reposting that much spray. And all that shows to me is that, you know, imagine real politics, by the way, in real life. Not that we have to get in that, but that person just seen a post online, assumed it was real, and has run with it. Because anybody who's ever smoked B Eazy from the time it started to now knows there's never been a spray drop in any package ever. So, but it shows you the power of just typing something on the internet and people taking it as real, no matter what. You know, so yeah, it's all bullshit. But I don't care because in reality, in real life, like I know who I am.
For someone out there who maybe wants to get into the weed industry, how would you suggest they even get their foot in the door?
Man, that's probably the number one question I get asked that. And like, what advice would you give to an up and coming brand? I don't know. You can give a cliche, a regular, typical cliche answer, like you just got to get yourself out there. Yeah, it's corny and cliche, but it kind of is true. It's like if you know, like you got to be around what you want to be. So if you're from wherever you're from and you really want to get into the, you know, the industry is layers. Do you want to be a trapper? Like you want to make a brand, or you want to be in the industry? Like, you know, like I would go to local events. You know, your network. Like you have to always be building your network. You can't get out of your city without building a network bigger than your city, but you also have to start in your city. Like, you know, you got to always be looking to grow and expand your network.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's important. Like, going to events is big, too.
It is. It's very big. And I don't like to do it because, like...
I don't either, dude.
Believe it, I'm very antisocial in real life. I'm actually, like, awkward. Like, I'm comfortable in front of cameras, which makes no sense to me. But I'm generally quiet, stoned, and awkward in real life.
I relate to that for sure.
And I'm fucking not good at small talk. And I really don't want to do the small talk. And so... I'm tough at event. I'm getting better, but like you put me behind the table or behind the microphone or at a pop-up with event, I'm the fucking star of the show. It's like, switch goes on, let's go. Probably because it's where I'm most comfortable and like, and I love it so much being around people who support me. But events are great. Like you have to really go. Like when we wanted to take the step next, I remember telling my partner Tony, like, you know, because B Eazy's been big for a while, but everything was going to the Northeast. You know, we were viewed as a Northeast brand. And I told him, like, yo, if we really want to become an LA brand, a California brand, and get in with these players, we got to start going to these Thursday night Doja events in Hollywood when he was throwing them last 2 years ago, whatever. He was having weekly events that had all the major players.
I remember I went to one of those Doja events a few years ago.
And we started doing it, and it's like, that's when the California players started knowing us and meeting us, like, you know, and building my network, our network on this side. It's like, because in the beginning, everything was here and it would just go east. But now, like, you come here and we expanded our network, but we also made an intention of it. Like I told him, like, you know, I got a wife or whatever, and, you know, my schedule's a little tighter sometimes. Like I have to be home, you know, I got to be home at a certain time. So he's a little freer. And So I'd be like, yo, Joe, I got to get home by 7, but I need you to go to the Dozer event this night if I can't make it. And he would be over there mingling. But like, we literally had a conversation about going to events more to expand our network locally, meaning California locally.
It's huge.
Because we're doing everything in reverse. Like a lot of California brands' main goal is to get to the East Coast, whereas I'm coming from there, and like you know what I mean. It was easy. It was a lot easier for us to get to the East Coast coming from there, whereas we were trying to get established on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So we were doing it in reverse, and going to those events and other events that followed was a major part of that, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like the weed industry is kind of tough to break into, but once you're in the door and you make those connections, I think
you're right. It is. It's very clicky, but everything's clicky, and that's cool.
It's super clicky.
You're dealing with a bunch of people that come from where they come from. We don't trust people naturally, right? So how are you going to crack a group that naturally doesn't trust people anyway?
There's no vetting to get in the weed industry either.
So
like you can just
the vetting is the level. The vetting is the next level. Every level you go up, someone stays behind. And when you get to the top 1%, like we are all in, all the riffraff is usually gone by now. There's still riffraff within the 1%, but no one's a scumbag, real piece of shit like Snake. Like usually by then the snakes are weeded out. Like know,
they're gone.
Yeah, there's always gonna be riffraff. Like I'm in the 1%, I cause riffraff, but but you know how that goes. But like, yeah, I mean. The networking is really big, man. It really is like, but I don't think people put their balls to the wall.
Yep.
Like, you feel me? Like, I think people want stuff and they have no idea how to get it. And if I want it, I'm getting it. Like, we were talking about the first smoke of the day earlier, the first time I did it, right? But we were big kind of, like, Captain Runts hadn't been created yet. So we weren't nearly as big as we are now. And I wanted to be on that show. And, bro, I had my following bombard them.
Oh, my God.
That's what it was.
You made them all, like, spam
I had
them?
a popping telegram with, like, 20,000 people in it. And I told them, I have the most loyal base in the world.
I would have been like, what?
Bro, they love me. My base loves me, right? I said, yo... Because we had enough motion. It wasn't like a random person doing it. Like, we had enough clout that, like, he'd be a good guest.
Yeah, it's not just
like
annoying.
They don't know the background. They don't know I'm going to come on and talk about drug addiction and dialysis and give them a great episode, like, But they're like, oh, yeah, this kid has noise. Like, he's at least a good enough guest, like, But, bro, they were spamming their comments, their DMs, and, like, I never forget it. Like, the next day, they make an Instagram story post, tag me, say, "Be easy, we hear you loud and clear. Let us know when you're free."
Oh, shit.
But it's like, I'm very aware of the cult following we have, and, like, I'm going to use it. Like, yo, go.
You utilize it well.
Yeah.
Make it work.
But, like, if you want something, bro, and you have access to in this case, a loyal network, a loyal base that I have, put them to use, because they want to do it for you anyway. They want to see you on the podcast, like, and that's just one example. But I think too many people, like, overthink it or are afraid to pull the trigger or just to maybe put themselves out there fully and feel. Like, I could have had 5,000 people tag him, and they could have said, okay, whoever, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's not going to work.
Yeah.
But I had to at least take the shot, and that was a huge break, because after that, the brand got a ton of recognition. I got killed for that podcast, too, by half the country. But I got a lot of love, too. But, it put it on a big platform. But if I don't ever take the shot, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nuts that worked.
Oh, it worked.
Because, like, I feel like normally if you tell your followers to go spam someone, they're just gonna block you.
No, like, I think yes, if you don't have, like, again, I had enough motion.
You have a lot of pull, at that time, so it worked.
Right, like, we had a good enough base. Like, we were known. People were.
You weren't just some random guy. Yeah.
Right. People were talking about the brand. Like, they were for sure talking about the brand. But it was like the duck sauce time, and duck sauce is, to a lot of people, especially in New York City, the duck sauce is the most, whatever you want to call it, historical direct-to-print Mylar bag ever in the culture over there. So, like, I had that going for us at the time. And
that duck sauce was what, like the clear bag?
No, that was a knockoff. The real, that was something copied us, like you said.
Okay.
And it was a gold bag. It was myself, B Eazy Buds, and him, Foamy, and High Volume. And it just broke waves when it happened. Like, it caught so much attention. And so we were on a huge wave from that. So that's why the spam worked. And then the rest was just history after that.
Damn, duck sauce and the spam locked you in.
Yeah, it did. But I'm a believer in that stuff. But I'm also a believer in manifestation. Like, like I'll say, like Gabe has brought you up months ago. So, you should really try to get on that. I'm like, I'll get on there eventually. I know I will. But it was like I was never gonna reach out. Like, 'cause I know, because like it'll happen organically. Like I know your show. I know the type of stuff you talk about.
Yeah.
And like I'm me. Eventually, you're gonna catch notice organically because I'm, like you said, I'm a character who I cause emotions, good or bad, So I knew organically it would happen, and it did. So, I'm a believer in manifestation, all that stuff. I don't think enough people do that. People don't realize how important that is.
You can just make shit happen.
Yeah, you got to believe it. If you don't believe it, who else will?
I mean, I think it's been a great episode.
Yeah.
I think it's been a
hell
banger.
yeah.
I think the people are this one for
hell
sure.
yeah.